So we are now live on YouTube, and I think we can start the meeting.
Okay. Well, we can bring the meeting to order. Alex, it's really over to you. And I'll just let you take over at this point.
All right, thank you, Your Worship. So it looks like we have one person in attendance tonight, and I just maybe make a note for technical assistance. Anthony Shaw's in attendance. So Anthony, I think there will be a portion after I do a little presentation that you will have a chance to speak. So what I'll do, as I'm running the technology here, I'll promote you to a speaking role when the mayor gives you a chance to speak, okay? All right, so I'm gonna start with just doing this little presentation. All right, so this is the rural plan amendment, and it's called bylaw number 63. So this amendment's being brought forward to council for a variety of reasons. There is properties around Farm Road in the village that have been zoned residential since the 1973 rural plan, basic planning statement. It was, and I'll talk about it a little bit later, some of the reasons why this kind of came to the fore recently. But in a high level overview, there's no services in this area. So it means the small lots here from a planning point of view are not appropriate. So you technically by the law can subdivide to small lots, but there wouldn't be services to make that a safe or appropriate thing. In planning opinion, the properties are better suited to the rural and greenbelt zone. And so therefore, this is one of these things like a housekeeping thing to make sure the rural plan is up to date and reflects the present land use and capacity. So this is the area roughly in the village. This is looking at the current zoning map. So you can see the areas around Farm Road there and the southwest corner of the village. Big chunks of property, and they're all zoned R1. But the types of land uses there include farms, camps, and it's unserviced residential. So the policies of the rural plan kind of give some guidance here of how this should have been zoned maybe back in the 70s. But it might have been contemplated as a residential growth area, but I'll talk about that in a moment. But just draw attention to two policies in the village's rural plan that may offer guidance in the matter. So it's a policy to recognize the dynamic nature of modern farming, promote the long-term viability of agricultural operations and local food production while minimizing conflict with non-agricultural uses of land. So that the fact there is farms here is a good thing according to the rural plan's overall policy. And you want to have farms in the village and have that local production of food if possible. However, putting it in a residential zone can create conflicts, so possibly goes right against the nature and spirit of this policy, the way it's zoned. Policy, the second one I want to reference is from the residential area of the plan. And this talks about it's a policy to promote a good quality, orderly, and efficient residential development within the village. So again, this area is not serviced currently, and to bring services out here would not necessarily be the most efficient, and there are better locations in the village core area to do a residential expansion area to promote the growth of the village as the demand dictates. So you don't necessarily need this location to be zoned residential, and you have plenty of opportunities to grow with the current lands that are zoned residential already. Oh, that one is from a different one. Okay. So as I said, the zoning map should reflect your overall goals and policies of council. Council had noted the issues with the zoning map. The commission talked with Ed, and the administration agreed that there should probably be an amendment brought forward to council to consider. There were zoning enforcement issues that brought this matter to light recently. There was proposal to have a camp in that area, and camp's not one of the things. For example, bringing an RV to the site with no house and just camping out in the RV on the land there. You can't do that in a residential zone, but in the rural and greenbelt zone, you can. This has been in place for a long time, but it's just kind of really come to the fore now where we're really checking the rural plan, make sure there's compliance. Not the most efficient location for a residential growth area. There's better, more central locations closer to existing infrastructure, so more cost efficient for the village for future development. And it's great to have farming in the village and have farmers who are producing food. So that's something to consider. So basically our recommendation is this, that council does consider rezoning, a bulk rezoning, a number of properties around Farm Road from single and two family residential R1. And I'll show this on the map later on, to the rural and greenbelt zone. And the basis would be that it would comply with the goals and policies of the rural plan and rightly reflect the present and potential land uses of the properties. So this is what the actual text of the bylaw would look like. It's very straightforward. It's just an amendment to the map. Nothing what's permitted in the zones changes in any way, but it's just going from one zone to another zone that's already listed in the rural plan. So it's just saying that this map will be amended to show the following. So Schedule 1 will be the amending map. So this is what the map currently looks like, but this is what it would become. So it doesn't change that one industrial zone property. I believe that's a gravel pit there, but this is what the map is, and then what it will become. So everything here would be green in that southwest corner. So this is what you can do in that rural and greenbelt zone. Any of the following uses: single family dwelling, summer cottage, a wood lot, a farm, including the raising of livestock and growth of farm forest produce, municipal installations, a campground. So again, we talked about the RV. A campground can include individuals, a personal campground, accessory structures, and you can do mini homes subject to the terms that council set for mini homes. And then the lot sizes is important to have the minimum lot size of 1 acre to reflect the fact that you'll need to have septic, individual on-site septic to develop. So there's no services that you can use here that would allow for the smaller size lots. So just made the note here in the report that you were seeing. The zone currently allows for the 6,000 square feet area lots, which is typical for areas that have services, but it's just not appropriate given the lack of services. So it's important to note that, and therefore this is a recommendation from staff, from the commission, that council consider approving the rural plan zoning map amendment, send a copy of the bylaw to the Minister of Environment and Local Government. However, I'll note that name will change to local government's reform for approval and registration as per the Community Planning Act. So that concludes my presentation, Your Worship, and I'll pass it back to you. And there's, as I said, one individual who's prepared to speak tonight, I believe.
Had to unmute myself, forgot. Just okay. I think all the counselors will just go around the table first, I think, and then we'll go to our public and see what they're thinking. Let's start with you, Greg.
Yeah, well, I think we already had the same thought, or the same answer.
Yeah, I think we were all moving in the same direction to
Yeah.
go ahead with this. Is there any dissenting voices, I guess, or any questions at this point before I go to the public, so that they'll know where we stand on it before they start talking?
I think the rural greenbelt zone is more appropriate for the activity that goes on there, so I support it.
Okay. I see Jody nodding his head there as well. So
yeah, I agree with Taylor. It's the appropriate zone for this.
okay. Now that we're all thinking that way, let's ask what the Tony, I think it is, was listening in.
Just 1 second, if I may interrupt your worship. Alex, is the meeting locked because Councillor Little is trying to sign in?
It's today. Yeah.
What I'm going to do, I'm going to try to, I'll send an invitation to him. Just try to get the email again. Okay, so that I just sent the invite to him again through email to his email address ending at gmail.com. There it is.
Here you go.
Okay, I got you.
Mitchell, welcome.
Yeah.
We've been just talking about the bylaw change to bring that property out on the west end of town or the south end of town from residential to greenbelt.
Yeah.
I think we were in agreement on that before.
Yeah.
On doing that, but we have Anthony Shaw that's listening in, and we were going to ask him if he had any comments he'd like to make.
Hi, everybody. Actually, I don't have any comments to make. Alex did a nice job on doing a presentation. And I think it was a wise decision on making that a rural zoning area. So I actually have nothing else to say. Appreciate it.
Okay, well, thanks for listening in tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, Jody?
No, just waving at Anthony.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I can't see everybody there. Oh, there you are. Okay.
Okay, was there anybody else listening? Alex?
No,
No.
that was it. And I think there was no written correspondence that I know of. Ed, did you or any counselors?
No, I didn't see anything come into me.
There were no written responses, Alex.
So I think we could, I'm not sure, can we, because can we do a motion to do that change now, or do we have to wait till we actually get into our meeting later on?
So
What's
what I recommend is you close this public hearing and then you go into your next meeting and I believe you can then make it an official bylaw with your third reading. I think you've done first and second reading. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have.
Okay. Yep. So just close this meeting and then open up your next council meeting, and you can do your reading then.
Okay. Well, thanks, Alex. We appreciate you being here tonight. Appreciate the work you've done on this. I think it's one of those things that's been long overdue. Nobody had any idea that it had been zoned residential for so long when it was never intended to be that. So I'm glad we were able to take that bull by the horns, no pun intended, and get that wrestled to the ground. So thanks, everybody, for doing that. I'm sure the village will be pleased too. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
So we'll adjourn this meeting, and then we'll re-adjourn for our special council meeting, I guess.